everyone. Here we all are, the Fleece and Harmony gang, and you can hear that my voice is a little bit hoarse because wait till we get to the farm update. You're not going to believe it. Anyway, it's been quite a week or 2 weeks. But first of all, this is episode 173, and it is the Fleece and Harmony Woolcast. We're still going to call it Woolcast. Somebody said now you just need to call it the Craftcast, but we're not quite there yet. Oh, I got the squeaky chair today.
You did?
Yes. Okay. I think you guys did that on purpose.
We didn't set it up.
Oh, okay.
I think Ken did it.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll introduce ourselves, starting with you.
Oh, I'm Betsy.
Kim.
Simone.
And we're recording this on May 13th, but you're viewing it, if you're viewing it as soon as it's published, on May 16th, and it's being recorded in our yarn shop, that's in our woolen mill, that's on our sheep farm in Belfast, PEI. Canada.
Because they'll call us on it if we don't say Canada.
Yeah, Canada. And we just got our 100% Canadian wool certificate thing from for sourcing our wool from Canada. So I'll talk a little bit about that later, maybe. I wanted to send something out in the newsletter, but I never got around to doing it because there was a lot of other stuff happening. And anyway, so as always, we have chapters. So if there's something, we do tend to ramble on a little bit. So if there's something you're saying that's enough of that, then you can just jump down to the next subject. As usual, we'll do a farm update. It's probably going to be a pretty long one today. We'll do a short shop update, but we have other things to show you as we go along, and she'll be a little bit more organic just to show them as we talk. And we'll talk all about our projects, and that's about all there is going to be on the podcast, but there's a lot to talk about in our projects. So it'll probably still end up being an hour and a half, but that's what we're doing today. And I have a little special segment on the Fibre Festival where I am introducing another instructor that's coming. And then we have a harmony part, and I think I know what it is, but Ken said he's got a great harmony part to me just this morning, so I don't know if that means that he got something different or if it's the great one that I know about. It might be the great one that I know about that he found. He's not giving me any. Oh no, it's something different.
Oh,
so I have no. Yes, I have no idea. Okay,
I already got a little peek, and it's gonna
really.
be fun.
He said he thinks it's the best ever.
It's really cute.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
So you
I can take a guess if these two think it's cute and the best ever.
just might.
I think I might know who might be in it.
Who?
No,
Oh,
it's not Vinny.
No way.
It's not Vinny.
Because you two are definitely
I
head
thought-
over heels for Vinny.
Oh, I
yes.
thought you were gonna say if it was kind of up to them two, it might be a piece of poop. Especially if Simone's involved. Look how interesting this is.
No.
Look at what do you think it is? It could be an owl. I don't know. It could be a fox.
Oh dear. I was meeting Vinny.
You'll have to do one of your little things of the three of us looking at your graphic things and going like
looking
this.
down.
And you can be going. And Simone will have a stick.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh,
All
we're
right.
off the rails already.
Yeah. So anyway, farm update. I'll just get the worst one. So if there was some kind of a songwriter in my life this week, they could have written a country song. The only thing that didn't happen is the dog didn't run away. Thank goodness. So, but everything else that happened was just been craziness. So, I don't know, a week and a half ago, I started getting a cold. I have to say, I rarely get sick. Like, I don't even really get colds. Every time I have to check if I have something that I need an aspirin for, I have to go rifling through all my stuff because I don't even take, but it's the head, it's the chest, it's just everything. And it's kind of hanging on a little bit, but now it's all mixed up with allergies, and because all the trees are pollinating, and I'm just crazy. Now I suspect that my fabric softener on my sheets is irritating my throat. So anyway, it's a bit crazy. I'm pretty sure that I'm not contagious anymore because it's been kind of hanging on for like a week and a half now. But that I kind of knocked the stuffing out of me a little bit. And I had to sleep on the couch because I was coughing, and I was and it's just a cold. Like I can tell it's just a cold because I've had, you know, the C word and whatever. So it wasn't COVID or anything. It was just a cold. And so I've been sleeping on the couch, which is all right, but not great. But Ken wasn't getting any sleep either because even if I stayed asleep, I was still like clearing my throat. So anyway, so it's all of that. So that was the first thing. So then what was, so then after we had, if you read the newsletters, after we did the recording of the last podcast, we had one of our sheep get sick, Dot. So Dot had some kind of liver failure, and the vet didn't know what would have been the cause. She said it could have been like some kind of an infection that she had, or she could just have liver failure. And so she was not moving very quickly. And when the vet came, she gave her a bunch of injections, and she actually tried to do blood work on her, but we couldn't get enough blood. Like she was like her veins had collapsed and stuff like that, but yet she was still going out with the rest of the crew, like she was whatever, but she just wasn't great. And so the vet gave her everything that she thought it could be, like treated everything she thought it could be, because there wasn't a way to do a kind of a final analysis. And she said, so if it was just an infection and she's recovering, you'll start to see recovery. But if it is actually like a liver disease or whatever, then she might kind of rally around a little bit, and then she'll just continue to deteriorate. So we were hanging on to she might rally around, because she had a couple days where she was kind of looked a little bit like she might be improving, but then she took another turn for the worse. And then when you know that that's happening, every time you open the barn door, your heart is like in your throat, because you don't know what you're going to find. And sure enough, the other day she was, when we came in the morning, she didn't get up with the rest of them. So she was in her spot. They all kind of have their little territory where they sleep at night, and she was in her spot and she didn't get up. So Dot died. And so that was the first thing. Then, so I was sick, then Dot died. Then the guys working in the house, there was a little bit of a mishap. Everybody is fine. No fingers were lost, as well, I'll say at the very beginning, but it's not good when you brush your fingers against a table saw. No. So the ambulance was here, and because they're a construction company, so it's a workplace injury. So then the EMS person said, well, we have to phone the RCMP, and they have to attend because it's a workplace injury, and then workman's compensation has to come out and the whole thing. So it was a whole big thing all out on our lawn, because the saw, they were working on our veranda because it was a beautiful day. So people react to stress in different ways. Some people can't lose their heads, like they can't calm down. Other people apparently can't stand the sight of blood. And then other people kind of go into some kind of a zone where you don't even remember what you're doing, but you're just doing it. And that's what I do. Yeah. So, so the guy that cut his fingers, and they're still intact, he's really, really lucky, because it looked pretty bad, but they were still attached. And by the time he got to the hospital, the blood, it had stopped bleeding, and the doctor said, well, I don't even need to call anybody to make sure that there's he could move his fingers, and he just needed stitches. Yeah. So he really just has a battle scar to talk about with his buddies later. But anyway, until we knew that, the two other guys that he works with both were squeamish and didn't know if they could stand up. So that's it. I'm on the phone calling 911 and just like, it's going to be okay. Everything's good. Just let me look at it. Okay. All right. So yes, it's a little bit, I think you should come. So, and then the poor guy that actually hurt his fingers, he was in a lot of pain and everything. So everybody came. So that was an hour and a half of pure stress, I have to say, because even though if you are the type that kind of slows down and everything kind of goes in slow motion, when it's all over, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just used up every fiber of whatever. Anyway, so then that happened. Then what happened? The computer, my hard drive broke on my computer.
Yeah.
So my work computer, it's been kind of acting up for quite a long time. It's a little bit of an old computer, but we basically do the agenda for the podcast, labels
All
for
my
the
labels
all
for
your
the yarn
labels for the
colors.
yarn colors, and my accounting software. That's basically all that's on it.
Yeah.
But all my backups for the accounting and everything were there, and I came out to check, because usually when I'm doing the horses, I come out and check on the girls and see if anything exciting happened between 3 and 8 in the morning that I should know about. Simone had the weirdest look on her face.
I had customers then too.
Yeah, I was like, "What's going on?" And she goes, "You're not gonna like when you go back to look at the computer." So what was the wheel was turning for hours.
Well, it decided when it had some issues. So when it rebooted, it just got the stupid little expression, because computers have these now, where, you know, fixing the files. So we left it, and whenever I came in the next day, it was still in the same place.
Fixing the files.
Yeah.
And then I pulled out all my tricks to try and get it restarted, and it didn't want to. So it was like, I kind of know where this is going.
Yeah. So I blissfully didn't know anything. So I came out, and then Simone said, "Yeah, you probably want to call. There's a computer. Yeah, there's a computer company, like a fixed guy here." And so I was like, "Oh my God, now what? Like, really, honestly?" So I had to go and take it into Charlottetown.
Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, we'll look at it and we'll call you and let you know like what." Then I said to Simone, I said, "Okay, so what do you think? Like, is it just like toast or?" And it's not, I don't want to squeeze the juice any further, but it looked like it was pretty fried. They couldn't, and the operating system was old enough that they couldn't even put like the latest Windows on it or anything like that. It's a PC. So they told me, they looked at it, and then the first thing the next morning they called me and they said, "Yeah, so there's 13% of your hard drive that's not corrupted. Everything else is corrupted." And I said, "Well, what does that mean exactly? Can you do anything?" And of course, they don't want to promise anything, because they don't really know until so you have to pay them to have them open it up and do whatever they can or whatever. So I had no idea. So I said to Ken, I said, "Well, we should go and just buy another computer, because it's been having problems, and it doesn't, even if they recover the data, they're not going to be able to put in a new operating system. So we'll just get a new computer." And so we went to Staples, and the guy there was asking me about the computer, and I was telling him, "Oh, they're only 13% of this," and he was like, "Oh, that's great." And I said, just somebody that doesn't know anything about computers, that doesn't sound too great.
13% doesn't sound very high.
No.
Yeah.
And I kind of know a little bit, and I know that when they save files, it's not like the whole file goes in one space, right, Simone? Simone's a little bit more of an expert. But so I thought, well, what are the chances that you've got anything that's full in that 13%? Like, it's how, but I didn't really know how it worked. Anyway, I'll get to the good part. Is yesterday I go to pick up my new computer, because they restored my files on my new computer, and I said, what files were you able to restore? And the guy says, "Well, I'm looking here at the paper. It just said they restored your files." I said, "Yeah, but which ones?" And he says, "They restored your files." So I couldn't believe it. They actually restored everything. So I was like so thankful that they actually. He said, "You may find like things, I can't tell you something in particular that wasn't restored, but if you go to use something and it's not there, then you'll just know that it was something that was corrupted enough or whatever." So then after that, so now I'm gonna have a week and a half or 2 weeks of every time I try to open something, I have to reload it, and I'm gonna have to do the passwords and the whole thing, so which is a bit of an inconvenience, but not nearly the inconvenience of not
losing
having
all
your
the
hard drive.
information. Yeah.
But here's a human lesson, a human nature lesson, is that I would have given my right arm to know that my hard drive could have been restored 3 days ago. Now when the hard drive's restored, yesterday I was complaining about having to re-enter the passwords. And I was like, why do we do that?
Yeah.
Like, you just shut up. Just shut up and be thankful that you have all of your stuff back.
There we go.
So that's what I'm practicing today. Gratitude.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
That was your 3 things. Yeah,
My three
your
things. But then there's just the other everyday stresses or whatever. But anyway, we have a beautiful day today.
Mm-hmm.
The sun's shining. I had a pretty good night's sleep last night. The dog didn't run away, and the computer's working. So what more can you ask for? Anyway, so that's that. So on a more cheerful note, we have a color of the month.
We do.
It's May. What is it, Betsy?
It is this one. We are calling it Lilacs in Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
So just lots of different bits of purple, some kind of a bluey purple in there, just because
What did you say to me in the back?
I don't even remember.
You said, we're just going to give them what they want.
I was trying not to be quite so blunt.
We know you guys.
We know you like your purples and blues, so just for you.
It's not disrespectful in any
No.
way. Thank you very much for everybody that shopped.
Well, I was thinking the irony is we're showing this one today, and it's fully matching Simone,
Yeah.
but the sweater I'm
Yeah.
wearing is probably also a bit more.
But you've got a
common
purple
to her.
t-shirt
Yeah,
on.
there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So
But this actually looks like it could go in
Really
the,
well,
like,
yeah.
because this has got a slight variegated. I guess we should say what we're wearing now then. Well, we'll do this first.
Yeah.
So it's a slight variegated yarn, and
Yeah.
this would be almost perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hope you like it, and
Yes.
you can add it to your projects. You can, like Kim was saying, you can use it in color work or just like in accessories is great as well.
Yeah.
We've put it on Selkirk worsted, which is our most common and loved base.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now that we're starting to get a lot more people in the shop, they're all looking at, and I have to tell you, Betsy, that there's not, there's hardly anybody that comes in that buys hand dyed yarns that doesn't comment about the colors that we
Oh,
have in
good.
there. Yeah.
Good.
So
Yay.
really, people notice that they're different.
Nice.
And the reason why they're different is that we use Greener Shade Dyes, which is a small company from the east coast of the US, and they only make 9 colors.
Mm-hmm.
So we have about 100 colors in our catalog, I think.
More now.
Yeah, more. So Betsy has to hand dye or hand blend all of those colors using the 9 basic colors that they make. So that's why there's a lot of variation sometimes between the dye lots, but it's also why our colors look different. And it's hard to describe if you're just always looking at them on the computer, but
Yeah.
when you're in the store, I don't notice it anymore, but everybody that comes in that buys hand dyed yarn says, oh my God, the colors are really, yeah.
I find sometimes whenever I'm walking through the store and in back, certain colors will jump out and grab me, and it's like, I haven't knit with that, so I need to do something
Yeah.
with that. So
Yeah.
pansies
And I've
is
been-
one lately that I've been
Yeah.
noticing a lot.
Yeah. Also like this, only with a white background.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is actually
Oh,
more closer to forget-me-nots.
forget-me-nots.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Pansies
Betsy.
has a bit of a splash
Yellow,
of
yellow,
in
right?
it.
Yes,
Which is
okay.
why I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. So were you gonna say?
I was going to say something, and now I can't remember, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I always assume that if I've lost it, then it probably wasn't worth it anyway.
You're saving yourself from something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Lilacs in Bloom,
Mm-hmm.
color of the month for May. So that'll be available, and then at the end of May, it's gone. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you might notice some cuts during this episode because I'll have to get a drink of water and whatever. Okay, so I started this segment by saying we may have a few breaks. I think so. So we just had one. So if you're wondering what happened there, that was just that now I've got something to suck on. So hopefully I'll start crunching But you just go like that to me, okay?
Or choking. If you can avoid choking, that would be great too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no more first aid on the farm this week.
No. So what I already said, but I'll say it again, is that we have entered all of our UPC codes and everything into our online shop. So while we're doing that there was a lot of codes that we had to enter. And Simone and Betsy actually did most of it. But every now and then I would pick up a few, whatever. And while you're doing that, as you would, you just are looking at the magazine because your little wheel is going around in your old computer. And I picked up so this is Lina issue 13. And I found this, when I was looking through it, I found this really great wrap or scarf. They're calling it a scarf, but we would call it's a rectangular wrap. Good thing I put a piece of paper in there. And it's called Color Swatch. And I'll probably put another picture here somewhere. And I didn't realize at the time, I just thought it was a really kind of a cute little patchwork thing, but it's actually reversible and it's made with double knitting. So the colors, it takes 6 colors and the squares are each 2 colors. So you have one color on the front and one color on the back. And so if you are interested in double knitting and you haven't done a project before, this is actually a really good project to try doing double knitting. So I think you've started your double knitting on a motif, right?
I chose like a fairly complicated chart because I had seen that, I think it was Arne and Carlos did them on a blanket.
Yeah.
They had squares, but it wasn't that. I was like, oh, this is a really cool technique. So I picked up like, I don't know, it was like some complicated raven with like, I don't know. Anyway.
A Norwegian raven.
What I learned was probably trying it in solid colors first would be wise.
Yes, you kind of get the rhythm. And you do some double knitting too, right?
I've done one project. It was the Verso hat by the Petite Knitter.
Okay.
And it was great. I really enjoyed it. The finished product I wear all the time.
Was it a complex motif though, or
there was no motif? It
was
just
okay.
Simple. So the outside is one color, the inside is a different color,
Ah,
and it's
okay.
reversible.
Okay.
So it was the perfect kind of dip your toe in the double knitting water project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the same.
Yeah.
This will be the same. Yeah. And I did. I think it was I can't even remember. It was so long ago that I did it. It's I think it was called the Snowflake hat, and it was the double knit, but again it was like a Selbu pattern. It was a little bit complex, and I was like, okay,
Maybe I should have just,
I remember when you did that.
Yeah, right. Anyway, double knitting is really fun.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of keep your, so it's easy to do, but you do have to keep your wits about you, especially when it's a pattern.
Is it, so it's going to use less yarn than if you were to color work the whole thing in the round, right? But more yarn than just like single knitting does? Kind of? Or am I?
It's you're knitting 2 sides of the fabric at the same time.
You're going to use more yarn. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to use more yarn. So this wrap, for example, and so I looked around in the store to see what kind of a wool or yarn would be good for this, for that we have, and it's actually pretty good for the Rowan alpaca soft DK.
And in a scarf, that.
You love it.
So
double
dainty.
knit, it'll be so squishy.
Yes.
So perfect for
Nice.
this, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And size doesn't really matter. The specs are just a little bit off, but it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to make a kit because people might want to just choose their own colors. So if you buy 12 balls of Rowan alpaca soft DK, it can be any 12 balls, all in the same order, and then you put the magazine 13 in your cart, when you go to checkout, you'll get a discount equal to the value of the magazine for free. So you can pick any 12 balls. You need it. The scarf takes 6 colors, and I chose the colors for you, which are on the description. If you go on to the website and to shop for this, in the description it tells you which colors are this. So this will mimic the original one that's in the magazine, and it's all you need 2 balls of each. Okay, and then I chose another selection as well, which is just a little bit, it's
This one makes me
autonomous.
happy.
Yeah, except you get this great pop of red. It's actually deep rose, the alpaca soft deep rose. But so I picked this all by myself.
I came in this morning. I'm like, ooh, what's Kimber doing here?
Yeah. So it's funny because and again, the colors are there. It's just called alternative. So you'll have the colors there, and you need 2 balls of each. So it's funny because you were picking for your project that we're going to show in projects, and there was felted tweed out on the ledge there for days.
Yep.
And I said, "What are you doing, Simone?" And that you were picking your colors, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you walk by it and you look and you're like, not quite right. So you sub in another one, and then you go back about your business, and then you come back out and you have another little peek and see if you still love it. Yeah, it's a good method.
It took you a day and a half to pick your colors.
Yeah,
good. Anyway, that's fun. Okay, so that's kind of like that's about it for the shop update. And like I said, we'll talk about a few other things as we go along, but that's kind of the 2 things that I wanted to mention. And I also I wanted to mention this at the last on the last episode. So for our friends in the US, I just want to because it's confusing with all the tariffs and everything. So for the moment, everything is exactly the same if you're ordering from us. So there's no implication of tariffs when you order your yarn, other than whatever things. Some states are collecting taxes now, just directly from Shop. I think if you use the app Shop, I think Shop is collecting your state taxes. But as far as we're concerned and you're concerned, when we deliver to you, nothing has changed with all of this other craziness. So far, so good. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Also, most of you know this already, is that we use UPS to ship our stuff now. So if you are ordering from us and you put in your civic address, not if you have a post office box.
Right.
So that's and Betsy usually writes to you and says,
Can you please give us your civic address?
Yeah, so if when you're ordering, you can just put that the ship to address, and we'll make sure that you get it through UPS. And there was a thing that came in the news over the thing with China, with the tariffs about China, and it's called the de minimis or something like this, where parcels are not checked if the retail value of the parcel is under $800. So I think those are agreements between countries, and the US and Canada has that agreement as well. So if you get your, as long as your order is under $800 Canadian, then I don't think they check anymore, because it just costs them more money to check for small amounts like that than it is just to let it go through. And some of the countries that they're at, there's like a real trade war with on everything. They are checking their parcels. Okay. So it just depends on where we're shipping. But as far as I know, it's the same as always. So however you've been ordering with us, you shouldn't see any changes yet, and we hope it stays like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it then for the what we're going to talk formally about the shop update. And just thank you for shopping with us. And now we're going to talk about our projects. So we'll start with what we're wearing. So you're on the list first, Betsy, so you can tell us what you're wearing.
I am wearing, it's just a hiking jacket. It came out of the book. It's the same one that I've been working on for Matthew that I ran into the sleeve issues. I made it for my youngest daughter a few years ago, and she outgrew it in the sense of just not her style anymore.
Oh,
so
okay.
it ended up back on my bed. That happens when clothes are not, done. They still have life.
They have a second life. Yeah, good.
So I picked it up and I put it on. It's a little snug on me. My shoulders aren't quite in it, but yeah. So it's out of our Selkirk worsted autumn birch,
right?
Which I love this color. It's not a color that I put on and feel brings me to life very well, but I really like it.
But I think with this, because you've got the cranberry scones
around
your face,
and I've considered even upping that more and taking this color off and putting a solid like mulberry jam.
Oh,
I think that
okay.
would help
That'd be fun.
me even more. But I had these great plans and ideas. I think I had talked about them for Remade May, and then there's just a lot of life to live. And the idea of hacking up a sweater that's already wearable seems
Frivolous.
yeah. So maybe someday, but not to. Maybe I need to wear the cuffs out first.
Yes, that's
and
right.
then they need to be replaced. So then it would make sense.
Perfect. And you did little embellishments.
I did, of course, I did. So I've got a little flower here. I thought I stuck one. On the
And
the
you,
arm.
this was inspired by your Sun instead of Stall that you did, right?
Yes. Cecil Hujovic puts little crocheted embellishments, embroidery embellishments all over. So I've also thought about adding more because I feel like it's got a really open canvas that I could add more to it.
So is this the exact same one, the pattern that you're using for Matthews?
It is.
So out of that same book, but
Yep.
it's the exact same one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't. It's just. I think it's just called hiking jacket.
Yeah,
in there.
great. Okay. That, and the book, if in case you missed it, because we've talked about it a few times, is
Men's knit.
Knits Men Want.
Yes. Thank you.
I find that so presumptuous every time I say it.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Anyway, it works.
Yes, you want it. I want to knit this, and you want it.
You're gonna wear it.
You're gonna wear it. Right.
Oh.
That's right. Okay. Makes me laugh every time I hear it. It's just so 60s or
Oh, is that
70s
kind of- okay,
or just
that
like
idea.
everybody in their lane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
Knits Men Want and
Yeah.
Betsy.
and Betsy.
Oh,
I do keep
cracks me
remaking
up.
this pattern though. So
Well, really,
yeah.
what about it makes it a man's sweater?
Exactly.
Nothing.
The fact is that it's just a basic hiking
Yes,
jacket. It's
exactly.
just perfect to
Perfect
do.
for everybody.
And you can I've put color work on it and I've done it. It has, I think the original one has a bit of texture that happens here.
Yeah.
I've left that off. Anyway, you can modify it so easily.
Okay, and you're wearing one of your favorites. Yes,
This is Paper Dolls by Kate Davies,
Mhm.
and it is in some old Belfast Mini Mills
Yeah.
specialty sock or their Island collection. I can't remember which,
Yeah.
and some Red Island knits fiber.
Yeah.
It's a mix. It's got yak in it
You have
Okay.
just a little bit of fiber from
from
something.
the Carter.
Yeah, maybe. Just let me get it there. There.
I
Okay.
usually end up covered in it,
I
so I
was-
have to
no.
take my extra outfit.
Nobody here would be able to see it, but then I know myself. My eye would always be going to it, going like that. So anyway, I just had to do it.
And they'll be wondering, why is Kim looking at Simone's hair?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it looks like I've been tarred and feathered by fluff.
Yeah, you too with your cute little buns.
I
and
call mine muffins.
yeah, and yours is a little ponytail.
Yeah.
What do they call it on the British shows? Bunches. She had her
Bunches.
hair in bunches.
Bunches.
Yes,
That's
I was like, what?
new to me.
They were talking about was probably one of the detective shows that I like to watch or whatever. And the
Vera?
little girl, yeah, maybe. No, it wasn't Vera. It was, I think it was, it's a little bit more Silent Witness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's a little bit harsh. Yeah. Anyway, they were talking about the victim had her hair in bunches.
Okay.
And I was like, what? What's in
bunches?
bunches? And that's what it was, little pigtails, just like that.
Ponytails.
Yeah. Anyway. And so this is a variegated yarn.
Yeah.
So like we were saying about it actually is just a perfect
Lilacs.
match.
Can I say Red Island Knits or Red Island Fibres? It's Red Island Fibres.
You said Red Island knits fiber.
Okay. That's where my brain is today.
There is two
I know.
Red Island Knits and Red Island Fibres.
Yeah, so this is from Amanda Moore.
okay.
Yeah, there we go. Keep it
Okay.
simple.
Yeah. All right. And I'm wearing my Tungsten by Chloe Thurlow, and it's made of the Rowan Felted Tweed, and it's out of magazine 70, I think. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. All right, Betsy. Now the
Yeah.
fun part.
Yeah.
Your projects.
So
So last time we
yeah.
were here.
I had most of this little girl done, I
Mhm.
think. I can't remember exactly, but she now has wings
Mhm.
and she needed some claws. That's a new
Wow.
addition to this pattern.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never put claws on them before.
They're
but now they
teeny
have
tiny.
little tiny little claws.
Is that
Just-
French knots?
Yes.
Oh.
I love my French
Oh, okay.
knots. They show up in lots of different places in my life.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy little French knots, especially when they go right.
Yeah.
They can be really irritating
Because then they
if
come
they
out.
don't. Yeah,
When they come
but
out.
no, once you get how to do them, they're so satisfying.
Okay.
So she's got her little nails, and then her brother is all done as well. So a few differences. I went with a different shape of, I don't know, spine, I guess
Yeah.
we'll call those.
Yeah.
Oh, Evelyn. Look at that. I crocheted her hair right in. She now has long, like it's headed towards her waist. She's working on it. So it shows up everywhere. I was trying to kill my vacuum cleaner.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So he also has some little claws on. I gave his eyes a few more, I think like the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just has eyelids on the top. He's got them on the top and bottom. So just fun little details like that. His head shape's a little different. So just making each character kind of
Right.
their
So what
own
you were
person.
talking about the last time we were here is how you like pull in parts, like sculpt with the thread
Yeah.
and stuff. So you can really see it here
Yeah,
on the side. Yeah.
And in his mouth, I pulled in a bit as well.
Oh, okay.
And the nose, kind of pinch in to give it some nostrils before
Yeah.
you put the little
Right.
flips on. So it's all those little tiny details that just really, I find extremely satisfying.
And it doesn't take a lot, eh?
No.
Just a little,
No.
like by millimeters.
Yeah, and sometimes I do it and I go, oh, no, that was wrong, or that was too much, or all of a sudden the entire demeanor of the critter changes.
Oh.
It
Becomes
goes from
angry?
like, from shy and sweet to like aggressive. And you're like,
Raptor,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
velociraptor.
So you just have to kind of play around, and then sometimes if I've pulled a piece in and I don't want that, I just take the hook and kind of pull the fabric back out
okay.
again. And sometimes I don't like even bother to try to remove the thread. I just snip it off and not
let it
tie
go.
Yeah, so that
okay.
it's inside there.
Okay.
Makes it easier. And then I've done things like, so for this one, I brought his legs together and tied them together. Where this one, when she sits flat, she actually sits with her legs apart.
Let's see the
and her
fox's
arms.
legs.
So I did a fox, and I'm not 100% satisfied with his legs. So
He's a
when
jumping
he's
fox.
sitting,
Yeah.
he's great, but then he stands up. Whoa! And he just becomes a little bit rude.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, baby.
what is it? You've got a vixen and a, what's the male term for a fox? I forget.
Fox.
Oh, just
I
fox.
think it's a vixen and fox. Isn't
Oh,
it?
well,
I think
okay.
so.
That was
Yeah.
way less.
Somebody will correct us if we're
So,
wrong.
yeah.
That was very
exactly.
anticlimactic. I thought it was going to be something
No.
more exciting. So yeah, so I can maybe, I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to do like I did with the dragon and attach his feet so he sits permanently.
Right.
Or I might actually take the legs off, and then so the seam is going this way, by turning the seam, then he would his legs
okay.
would hang down straight.
Okay.
But in that case, then he won't sit. He'll
Right.
just have to lay flat on the tail.
Oh, you don't
which-
like that.
Not really.
You like
'cause
it when
I
they
also
sit.
made his tail so that it helps to keep him
Right.
sitting up. So again, on this one, things like the little tail, his little nose is embroidered on there.
Yeah.
It's really bugging me. The ears took a bit of finagling because I didn't really love the original pattern, had them too rounded, and I thought it didn't quite look fox. But now sometimes he's reminding me of there's another animal, but I can't remember what it is. It's not on this continent. I think it's a desert dwelling animal. Anyway, I can't remember, but sometimes he looks a bit like that. So
Like a dingo.
is that maybe?
Dingo,
Maybe.
maybe? Or the wild African
thinking
wild
like
dog.
Yeah, maybe the African wild dog. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Or
thinking.
wild
That-
African dog
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think he still needs a scarf or a jacket or a vest or
So,
boots.
Is this Selkirk worsted?
It is.
In Fox and Kids?
It is.
Okay.
How
Wow.
appropriate, eh?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
it gives the wool gives them a really different look and different
Yeah,
feel. I really
yeah.
like it. So it's wool, but it's
Oh, yes,
soft
okay.
yarn.
Yeah.
So it just has a less I feel like this gives it a more classic, timeless kind of look or feel to it.
Mm.
So I really like that. Yeah.
A
So
little
again,
more
just like-
organic.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
just something a little different. Just a little different aesthetic, as they like to say
Yes.
these days.
Yes. Subtle.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the last one at the moment, there are still more at home that have pieces that aren't finished yet.
You've
A
really
little
gone down.
zebra, I have. I'm
Oh, I
filling
love
the
the tail.
shelf
I
again.
just noticed the tail.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got a
yeah.
little braided tail out
Yeah.
the back here.
Cute.
So I am working on my crochet jogless stripes. Is a
Okay.
little tricky, so you can see at the back. I'm
Okay.
keeping
I
it at
thought
the
it
back.
maybe you sewed it. But it's
No.
it's the job. Okay.
It is. I'm trying to figure out how to. I watched a few different tutorials, and none of them really seem to work great. So if you have a tutorial to point me in the direction of really good jogless, in the round crochet stripes,
Right.
I would appreciate it. What I'm going to do for this guy is he's just going to have a vest or a sweater anyway, so it won't really matter.
Yes, because sometimes you make clothes for them. Are you making?
Always do. Not for the dragons because their wings get in the way.
Okay.
I have done scarves for them,
Yeah.
but even the scarves are tricky because their spines kind of get in the way.
Yeah.
But I might, or I was thinking she might want like a flower or something to hold
Oh, okay.
in her hand.
Some little embellishment.
Some accessory of some sort. But these two will definitely get some clothing at some point.
Okay.
That's so cute.
So I just have to ask this.
Yeah.
And please don't be offended that I'm asking it. This seems a little understated for a nose for you.
Just like his nice round nose.
No, the little X's.
Oh,
I think it's cute.
I know.
Ultimately, my question back to you is, what do you want me to do?
No. I just wondered, is that the way that you're? Because look, all this is all like this, and then the
this is the
French knots for
pattern.
the toenails,
I
and the
guess,
whole
okay.
thing. Like you
Yeah.
never go just to
Straight.
it's always to the nth degree.
So it was. I just followed the pattern.
Oh,
so I
okay.
didn't even bother to
Okay.
think.
So
outside
forget
the
I
box.
ever asked.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I guess for a zebra, you could like no.
No.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
okay.
It's
It's
good.
very
Little
cute.
X's work.
Yeah.
I just the little tail's so cute.
Yeah.
too. And I love the little
And the little detail on the hoofs too,
Yeah.
like it's amazing.
Again, so this is like entirely to the pattern, which I'm so sorry I don't have it in my head who it is. Some of these patterns I found years.
I did
and
find
years
the
ago.
website the last time for the
Did
dragons.
you? Okay,
Yes.
the BB Amigurumi.
I
it
think
was.
it's Amigurumi BB, but when I
Okay.
googled it, it
Good
was
for
the
you.
opposite of what you said.
Okay.
But it was enough that when I googled it, I was able to find
Nice.
it. Yeah.
I will try to text you the information for
Yeah,
this one because
okay.
it's probably on the pattern. They're like I don't even have them downloaded; they're just printed.
Yes. Yes.
Paper pieces.
Yeah.
So the fun thing about this one, I really like making its little mane.
Yeah.
I do.
Because they'd stick up.
Yeah.
The
The original pattern, she does it actually where the stripes. So she's got a white base, I believe, and then all the different stripes are all different colors. So it's like rainbow. So it's actually a really good project to use up bits and pieces and ends. So I may do a rainbow one too, but I don't know. I love doing it. I love doing it. And all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. So we'll see. Right now I have like 10 in my brain I want to do, but we'll just do one at a time.
Yeah.
See what
So,
happens.
and I think I should give the tip that we found out when we were trying to do amigurumi together, when you were teaching me about the llamas.
Okay.
So, Betsy is a left-handed crocheter,
Yes, I am.
and I'm a right-handed crocheter. And actually, for amigurumi, it's better if you use the way you twist your yarn than it is. So you get this is all single crochet,
Yep.
right?
All single.
Yeah. So you get this kind of little, the pattern looks quite different if I forget now because it's
Which
so
way?
automatic
Yeah.
which way it is. But if you're a right-handed crocheter, if you wrap your yarn around the hook in the opposite way you normally would, you get a different kind of stitch, which
yeah.
looks like a left-handed
I feel like her
crocheter.
poor legs are.
Oh, they are sorry. Her modesty was being compromised. And it actually looks better.
Yeah.
Because it
want
tight-
a stitch that has a bit of an X.
Yes, so it fills in the spaces. So when you stuff it, it gives a very, very neat look to
Finish
it.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my 4 so far.
Wow.
There is 2 more at least that are already mid-process. So you'll see at least two
And
others.
what are these? What are you doing with all of these?
I was telling Ken, I often use them. So I have a shelf. So things like, because the girls are in school and fundraisers come up, they'll get asked to donate items to, I don't know, gift baskets or I think auctions. Or they're also just really great to have around if an unexpected birthday comes up or something like that. So I just, I just use them for little things of that
And then
sort.
you keep some of them. The ones you
The
particularly
ones
fall
I
in
don't
love
think
with.
I've super fallen in love with anyone here or that has like a spot in my house that I had in mind.
Yeah.
So they'll probably all eventually be rehomed.
Oh, do you do much amigurumi?
Not recently. When the kids were little, I did it a lot because I used to make them toys.
Right.
And it was very fun because you could just use up little scraps and bits and bobs. But yeah.
And did you knit or crochet?
crochet?
Crochet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crochet really lends itself.
it's easier to shape.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who do the knitted patterns that are incredibly talented at it. Claire Garland comes to mind.
Yeah.
But
Like
it
little
is
cotton rabbits.
little cotton rabbits. Yeah, but I find mentally shaping with crochet in 3D easier than knitting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is it more? How do I describe it? More instant, like the minute you can change the shape quicker.
Quicker, and I think just hiding increases and decreases. The visibility of an increase and a decrease in crochet is significantly less than in knitting.
Right.
So at least that's what I think. Part of it is I just haven't done a lot of the knitting. Also, you often end up with a softer, more malleable fabric with knitting. Like you'd have to knit on a ridiculously tight gauge to get the sculptability.
Yes, so that's what makes them so nice, is that they're just they're
sturdy.
They're sturdy, yeah.
And I know, is it Alan
Dart?
Dart? Yes. So he does knitted ones, but I think he even teaches you techniques on how to kind of starch some of the pieces.
Yeah, I think he uses hairspray.
To make it stiff, where you don't really have to do that. Now, with time and play, the crochet will soften up. So if they're actually going as toys, they eventually will get kind of wonky shaped if they're truly being
loved. The Velveteen Rabbit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but if you want them to stay as a sculpture, if they're just sitting on a shelf, they'll stay that way without handling.
Yeah, because my llama that you made for me is still perfect. Yeah. It just looks exactly like the day you gave it to me. Yeah. So I'm a little bit dusty.
Yes. It's been in that house that's gone through quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. But even then, I just kind of brush it off with a dry brush, and it just it's fine. And it's got white on it, but it's still, exactly.
That's right.
Okay, so next we have your cross stitch adventure has started. And wow, what a lot of projects you have on that. I'm really bad today.
Ouch.
You can give it back to me when it's the cold. It's the cold mints.
Oh,
yes,
right.
that's it.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure.
Cough
No,
drops
it's
do
just
it.
your true. Anyway, whatever. We could get nasty. We won't.
That's actually something. I mean, this is rest her soul. But my grandmother, my dad's mother, was a little bit cranky sometimes, and was often said things that were not very nice. Aww. And when she got very old, then my mother was very distressed one day because she said to my father, she said, I don't know why she's being so mean to me. And I can remember my father, I wasn't even in the conversation, but I heard my father say, that's just because her filter is gone. She's always been like that.
She's just not using the filter today.
Yeah.
So, there we go. We'll blame the cold meds that they
lowered
the
filter.
The halls.
Yeah.
The halls.
Yeah. The
It's
halls
so
did it.
powerful.
All that sugar.
So the adventure has begun, and the reason Kim is poking a little bit at me is because it is it's slow going.
I'm only poking at you because you said something.
Okay.
Yesterday.
It is.
Yeah.
It's slow going. So I am working this on what do they call that? Even weave.
Yeah.
So it's like a linen. This is, I'm not talking like a pro here at all. This is just what I've learned. It's the idea of the weave of linen, but the weave is literally more even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
linen has
more
little
bumpy
slubs, little slubs, yeah.
Which gives it its really cool look.
Yeah.
So this for me has very much become, in my life, I am mostly a process project worker. I will do things and I will come back to projects and crafting because I love the process of it. Oftentimes, by the time I get to the very end, I actually have a moment of like, that was a lot of build up for nothing. Because I just love doing it so much and I love watching it come to life. And then when it does, there's that little bit of disappointment when it's over.
Okay.
This is definitely, at the moment, a practice in I really want the end product.
Oh, okay.
So
you want to hurry up and get there.
Well, no, I'm telling myself I don't need to hurry because I can't hurry.
Yeah.
Because it's tiny.
It's so tiny.
But it's really neat, like neat and tidy.
Yes.
And I love
Yes.
that. I'm using a blending of threads. So there's 2 threads that I'm working with, and sometimes they're a strand of 2 different colors.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay, so that
there's
is a
like-
complex one. Then.
Yeah, so there's this orange is actually 2 different oranges that are held
Oh.
together. So it's gonna have like the end picture is really cute, but it is definitely slow going. I need full light, and I need a new little addition to my life that I am basically using solely for the purpose of doing this. So there we go. When I have these on, then I can go ahead and work on it. It's amazing. All of a sudden, like, it's so visible. But they have to be within like 16 inches of my reach, I think.
Oh.
Because my doctor measured, like, I actually had my knitting there with me, and he measured the distance that I would hold my knitting or my projects at.
These aren't prescription though.
They're
No,
not,
yeah.
but apparently they work just
Yeah.
as good as
Yeah.
the prescription, because it's just the beginning of. But
Yes.
I was a little bit daunted at how much difference even that just the beginning of makes.
You get used to it, eh? The
Yeah.
deficiency. You just get used to the deficiency. Have you gone there yet?
I have reading glasses,
Yeah.
but I broke them, so
Okay.
I don't have reading glasses right now. I
Okay.
probably should get them again, but
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah.
I notice myself squinting at packages and stuff like that, especially if the writing is really tiny.
Yeah.
But I'm just in denial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still
Totally
can,
in
you
denial.
still can be in denial.
Yeah.
I can't be in denial anymore because I can't tell if it says toilet paper or toothpaste.
There's a big difference.
Yeah. Speaking of toothpaste, you know what happened the other day? Ken was getting ready in the bathroom, and he's brushing his teeth, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Oh shit!" And I said, "What?" He said, "I just brushed my teeth with the dog's toothbrush."
Oh dear.
I said, "Oh, isn't that cute? You guys do everything together." Yeah.
Oh well. But hey, he keeps Vinny's teeth spotless. So
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
It was so funny. It
Yeah.
was like,
Oh,
oh
jeez.
well. Yeah, maybe you better put your glasses on before you get your everything.
Oh,
All
dear.
right.
So I'm still in love with cross stitch. The question I'm having is whether I will. I think I even went with a smaller even weave than I would have had to. They do make it in a larger
Right.
weave, or if I stick to Ada cloth, because there's nothing wrong with Ada cloth.
No.
But I just really wanted the end product of this
Yeah.
one, so I shall persevere.
Yes. And what is that thing on your hoop?
That's my needle minder.
Yeah, so I never got the needle minder. They didn't have needle
Oh.
minders when I was doing cross stitch.
So it's just a little magnetic piece. So it's magnet on the back. and
Okay.
holds this.
Yeah.
I took my needles out because I didn't want to lose them with
So
it.
how does that mind your needle?
It's magnetic, so you just can set your needle on there and it holds it.
Oh,
sticks
okay.
to
So
it.
it just sticks
So,
to
yeah.
the front of it.
Yeah, and this is actually like a fancy name brand one. Jessica, I can't come up with her last name, but she's an embroidery designer.
Oh, okay.
So this is one of her actual, you can embroider that design. I have a little book
Oh, okay.
that she has.
Okay.
I wonder if it says right on it. It does not. She doesn't
No.
have it branded on
Okay,
it.
so you
but-
just stick your needle on there.
Yeah, it's just
okay,
magnetic.
okay, because
Yeah,
I
it's
was
cute.
looking at them because everybody has them now.
Well,
when they're kitting up their thing, they're
'cause
picking their
it's
needle minder.
So cute to have.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't see where the needle attaches, except other than
Magnetic.
it's magnetic. Yeah. Okay, fun.
And especially now that I'm using the parking method, so I have a few strings on.
What's that?
And just like where I don't cut the string necessarily, because
Okay.
I know I'm going to need the color later.
Mm.
So I
Yes.
don't bother to cut it. I just set it, kind of push it aside
Yeah.
and look around it.
Yeah.
And I'm also threading multiple needles with different colors so that I don't have to keep changing
Wow.
my needle.
You're
So
Also.
this
being
is like the
excellent.
beginning of bobbin lace, but embroidery style.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, I'm having fun with it. It's just very slow, but that's okay because I got to stop worrying so much about
That's right.
producing.
It's good for you, Betsy.
Yeah, it is good for me.
Yeah, it's good for you.
hard. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be worth it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Cross stitch update. I think that's it. So we're not going to talk about the Tessellation Nation because
I didn't
you just
touch it.
you didn't touch it
Yeah,
because you were
I'm
doing all
still
these.
living with the anticipation of doing it, so that's good. Often when I set something aside, it's like, I don't want to finish this.
Yeah.
But no, that's not at all the feeling I have
Right.
towards it. I just keep distracting myself.
Yes. So I'm don't have much to show today, except that I did finish all of these this version of the granny squares for my Homage to the Granny Square. So this is an online course, as is this Tessellation Nation, from the Mercery out of the UK. You can, we love it.
Really
we have
good.
to
I love
say,
her
we have to
designs.
say, we
Yeah.
love it. And you can sign up for the courses. We have links down in the description. And I think I have I don't know, like maybe 20 squares left to do or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I couldn't bring them all out because now they're all like overflowing everywhere. So a couple little wood chips from the so yeah. So I'm really kind of closing in on I honestly can't believe it myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
Power
that's it.
through that.
I loved it. I have to say, I loved it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good,
So
good.
yeah, it's easy and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. A great project. Okay, Simone, you've got a big list though.
I do.
Yeah. So what do you have?
Okay, so I'm going to start with a work in progress first. So this is the Aestlight Shawl.
Yeah, nice.
I remember.
I'm
Yeah.
cruising along on it.
Look at it.
I've got the center portion done and then the lace kind of border.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing the knitted on lace now. So I haven't gotten very far. But yeah, I decided to do it in the hand
It's
spun.
beautiful.
So I have kind of a break in the colors and then a colorful edge.
Yeah.
This is a pattern by Gudrun Johnson. Yes.
Yes.
Wow, my brain is not
Yeah.
good today.
I remember
Oh.
because I did the show notes from 2 episodes ago.
Perfect,
So,
thank
yes,
you.
yes,
Perfect.
yes.
I'm glad somebody's on the ball.
What's it called?
today.
It's Aestlight, but
Yeah.
it's AEST.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a really kind of simplistic pattern, easy to memorize, and it's a lot of fun to knit. So once I finish this edging here, I'll come along the top and I'll finish the top with probably an I-cord.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's what she recommends. So you have a nice firm edge for the top of the shawl.
Okay. So how big is this going to end up? It's not overly big.
It's
though,
not
right?
huge, no.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do need to block it. So
yeah. Well,
it will
it's got,
stretch
you
a
can
bit.
you can tell that it needs to be opened up quite a lot. But
Yeah.
yeah, nice.
So
this is nice.
so nice.
Kind of like a netting
Yes.
motif.
I like this.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah.
So I used some hand spun for this. This is how I got all these fun colors. And then this was actually the very first, like, kind of prototype of Deepest Desire, the Pearly Everlasting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
that's been in my stash for a little bit, and I figured it was a perfect time to use it because
Yeah.
I did love that diva.
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, we're not making it anymore.
No,
So for
I
anybody
didn't
that
love
wants
to spin it.
it was really labor intensive
Yes.
to make it, and
Yeah.
it was. We wanted to create more colors, but it was just such a nightmare to make
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
very labor intensive. To
I
make
actually
it, so.
gave it a nickname. Remember?
Yeah,
Misery in
do you-
Melville?
Yeah. 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 Poor
But
Dina.
I really, really love knitting with it. So
Yeah.
it lives on in this little shawl.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love those
Gorgeous.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's
Just gorgeous.
the perfect project for playing with your hand spun too, because you've got this large section of garter, and fractal spins they play so well together. So I'm very
Do you know
happy
what it
with
reminds me of? The color, and I don't know if you'll be able to picture exactly what I mean, but kind of like salt marsh when you go to the beach in some places where you have like I don't know what it is, Labrador tea that turns purpley,
Yeah.
like some of those kind of bracken like seaweedy, but like mossy, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the colorway. I know it was a Hello Yarn Fiber Club shipment
Oh, okay.
that I had in my stash from a few years ago.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what type of wool it is. I just know that it is wool, and it's kind of one of the more medium grades. So it's not like
Not
super,
overly
super soft,
but it's not super rustic
It's
either.
not rustic either. It's,
Yeah.
something in me wants to say Corriedale, but I I can't recall exactly.
It goes really well with the Diva.
Yeah,
It's like
it
a
does.
perfect combination.
Yeah.
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 So that's
And
Excellent.
it's the perfect excuse to use that fractal two-ply that
Yes.
I love to make so much.
Yes, you do. That's your happy spot, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. I love to play with the colors. So
And then I think are you going to do the Audrey vest for next?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you've inspired a few people that have already finished theirs.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a couple notes.
They're fast.
Are they?
So fast.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see.
All right. So mine is complete,
Oh.
but it doesn't have buttons.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
So
she is saying how everyone else is so quick. But,
I still have to choose my buttons, but this is
Aw.
Audrey and Unst vest by Gudrun Johnson, and yeah,
gorgeous.
it's completely
Really
finished.
Cute. Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
done in Jameson Smith.
Oh, okay.
So it's a woolly wool,
Yeah.
but
It's
I'm
so
very, very
you.
happy with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so you.
it just
Yeah.
needs
It's
some
gonna look
buttons.
so cute on you.
Yeah. I just love this. It's just enough.
Yeah.
It's just enough little embellishment on the.
And the pattern's really easy to follow. My row gauge was slightly shorter than what was called for, so I did tweak it a little bit. I added some extra length in the body, and I added an extra repeat of the Unst lace along the top.
Oh, okay.
So I just, factored that in whenever I knit the back. And she gives you a lot of kind of customizations for this project too. So I just went with the straight hem and then ribbed bands, but she gives you an option for a curved hem, so kind of like high-low almost,
okay.
so curved on the back, and then I-cord edging.
Oh,
Fun.
nice.
Yeah, and you can mix and match too. So if you wanted
I like
to
the
do
rib.
the rib here and then I-cord on the arms, you can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, One of the ones that she featured had just a couple of buttons along the top, so you can do that as well. I opted for buttons all the way down because I intend to wear it closed. And it's just going to be a nice kind of layering piece.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be super precious with it because it is a good rustic wool. So
Oh,
this
so
will
you're
be,
gonna have lots of little buttons, eh?
yeah, just right there.
Yeah.
I don't know how many I
Yeah, you
put
don't want
in.
them too big then. They'll
Yeah.
just be cute.
Yeah, it's gonna be really.
So,
I don't know, kind of. It has this kind of a like a rustic feel to it when
It
you have
does.
those little buttons.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, nice.
so I have a
Very
button
nice.
jar. Well, actually, it's a button can at home that's from my mother-in-law. So I'm gonna have to dig through there and see if I can find any treasures.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, I figure this is going to be a nice addition to my wardrobe, and I should be able to wear it a lot because it's great for layering. So you could wear it by itself with just like a little tank top underneath, or you can wear it with a long sleeve shirt
Yeah.
whenever the weather's a little cooler in the fall and you just need that little extra bit of warmth.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
practical
Beautiful.
and fun.
Yes. And quite neutral because of the flecks that are in the yarn too, eh? So it obviously looks burgundy, but there's all kinds of
Like
little
blue and
different.
green
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
sorts.
I like
Yeah.
tweeds. I really do.
Yeah.
I really love tweeds.
Nice.
So it takes no time at all, and it's a very fun project.
Yeah. So for now you only have one.
Yeah, for now.
All right, that's what I thought. Okay, what's next?
I have another finished project.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So this is Moon Mint.
Oh, you finished it.
I finished it.
Oh,
So
this feels really nice too. Well, it's the same yarn on the top, right?
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, wait a second.
hand spun. And,
What weight? What weight?
Wild Winds 2-ply in
Yeah.
the natural gray.
Nice.
So yeah, this was another hand spun project. It's Moon Mint by Andrew Mowry, but I tweaked it. So it's kind of like a mishmash of Moon Mint. So this kind of slip stitch motif that she uses. And I did the rest of the shaping like Bellacore because I really like that sweater and it fits me well.
Yeah.
So I just decided I may as well do another one. I want more
Right.
short sleeve sweaters. So
Right. Okay.
yeah. It's simple, fun, and I used hardly any hand spun. I'm so surprised, like less than half that ball.
Oh, okay.
So
Make another one.
Yeah.
So am I wrong by just looking at this? Is that you just have these? It's basically the sleeves of the rib.
Yep.
That's it. So
That's
you
it.
just it's a square
Yeah.
with shaping. I see that you've done
Nope.
shaping. No?
Nope, it's just the way I blocked it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, look at you. Okay. So you have a nice relaxed, and then you just pick up stitches around the edge, and then you did your little ribbing.
Yep. So just easy peasy,
Gorgeous.
nice and simple, and it fits that t-shirt niche that
Yeah.
I'm trying to fill. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Now what? What else you got? What else?
do I have? I have one more thing. One more thing to share. And this is a work in progress. This is what we alluded to earlier with the color choices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You made good progress on that too.
I did. And this is another one of those projects that it's potato chippy.
Oh, it's fun.
So this
Another
is-
Gudrun Johnson.
It is.
Yeah.
Sea Faerdy by Gunter Johnson. And it's done in felted tweed.
Mm-hmm.
I picked 7 different colors. I've got them all listed here. So I'll give it to Kim, and if you're interested in my
Yeah, I'll
color
just put it
choices-
in the description.
Yeah.
And this is the one that had its home on the back of the
Yeah.
shelf for a few
Yeah.
days. Eh?
Because
Yeah.
I was trying to find just the right shades. I went with colors very close to one of the originals that she posted pictures of, and I've got the first little bit of the vest done here color work wise, but it's so
So have you used all the colors already?
yes,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Well, you'll take a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have to say, I really love knitting color work in felted tweed. I haven't done it a whole lot,
I know. Yeah.
but there's something special about this yarn and
Yeah.
how it plays with the color work, because
Yeah.
the little flecks just add a different dimension,
And
and they
then
make everything blendy.
when
Yeah.
you block it, it just kind of like fluffs perfectly together.
Yeah.
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 So this,
So I see the last color is this dusk one.
Mhm.
Is it dusk or
it's one of the new colors.
Yeah, I think it's dusk or sorbet maybe or something. Anyway, we'll have the colors down in the description. So that's why I can't. It's kind of going to
it's
be
right there.
yeah. It's a little bit of a pop
So smart
in
today.
this,
Yeah, and
and this
this one is also a bit of a pop.
my favorite peach.
That
I-
color.
Giggled whenever I pulled this out and it worked, because it was like, oh, Kim's gonna love this.
It's magic.
It is.
It is
And I
magic.
tried other pinks and it just did not work the same
No,
way.
it's
So
magic.
yeah,
Yeah.
Which is funny, you're even calling it pink, because on my blanket, it's clearly an orange.
Yes,
Okay.
right. But look, it's amazing.
I know. It's a shapeshifter, that
Yeah.
one.
yeah, definitely. So I'll have to take a close up, but
Is this all over color work?
it is.
All the way up? Nice.
Yes. So it's a vest with some steeks.
Oh, fun.
And,
It's like a real traditional
Yeah.
Fair Isle. Think of King George the Third or whatever it was that brought Fair Isle to the masses or
Okay.
whatever. Like,
So yeah, it's an all over color work vest with steeks, and I do love steeks.
yeah,
Yeah,
you love your steak.
I do.
Okay, and is the main color pine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun with this one.
Nice.
And yeah, like I said, the felted tweed just plays really well with the color work.
It's hard to find a combination that doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's what I always say, and it's true. It's
And
like even
now that I'm knitting this, I'm already thinking about what Marie Wallens I really want to knit
To do with it.
in the felted tweed. You've created a monster.
I know, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love monsters. Yeah. Okay. Now
That
there's
is
one
it.
thing more on the agenda, but you don't have it.
Right. I just brought a picture.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So this came right out of the blue.
Yeah.
Out of the hinterland.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
So probably over my face is a picture of my new dress. with
I'll try
a
to put it
sweater.
over. I'll try to put it over Betsy's face.
Oh.
The only thing I can't figure out how to move, if anybody knows how to do it, they can write me an email. Is that when you put up the things that are in the shop of, like if you're talking about a product and I put it up, but to show it the link to our website, it always goes over you.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out how to move it. And I can't believe that they wouldn't have you be able to move that around. But the other stuff I can move wherever.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll put it over Betsy while you're talking. Or and me, it'll be half of us.
there we go.
Okay.
So as some of you know who have watched for a while, I started doing some sewing this winter. I took a community school class from Melissa Bailey. Sorry. And I've been having lots of fun. We did lots of bags and things like that. But I really want to make some of my own garments.
Mm-hmm. So
recently I decided, okay, I have enough of the basics. I'm going to give this a go. So I enrolled in the So Liberated Hinterland Dress, the Make and Fit Bodices class.
Not sure.
You
I don't
talked
trust
about
my brain
So
today.
Liberated.
Yeah.
What did
I've
you
looked
get
at
from
their
that?
stuff. I haven't actually gotten
Oh,
anything,
okay.
but I've looked at them several times.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's Fit and Sew Bodices.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the right one.
Okay.
Anyway, it's the only bodice workshop or course that she has on her website. So I decided to enroll in that, and it is worth its weight in gold. I have learned so much because Joanne gave me a bag full of fabric.
Right.
Thank you, Joanne. And I've been using that to try and learn different things.
Mm-hmm.
But there was just gaps in my knowledge. So I figured, okay, I'm going to give this a go. And I signed up for the class and I started working through it step by step. And I learned so many little tips and tricks and things like that. And now I have a fully finished Hinterland dress.
Oh,
Just the
lovely.
short sleeve, or the sleeveless. I'll do sleeves later, but I got to do, making my own bias for the sleeve facings and stuff like that. So the whole deal. And yeah, like I said, just loaded with lots of information.
So as you're talking about that, it seems to me like this So Liberated is a little bit like the Mercery for the crochet classes. Is that kind of the vibe I'm getting?
Yeah. So
okay.
She has a bunch of different courses that take you right through like beginner, all the way to, fitting your own pants and things like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I have the Fit and Sew Bodices class, which I'm making good use of. And I also have the pants as well. So I'm eventually going to get there, but I need to, experiment more with the zipper foot. And I actually need to learn how to do buttonholes because I haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of other skills I need to learn.
I've done the buttonholes, but my machine is so old. It doesn't like to do them so well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They
kind of get lumpy a little bit.
Or it just won't reverse direction properly when it's supposed to, or it forgets what stage it was anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully your machine
sounds familiar.
Yeah, hopefully your machine.
I learned a valuable lesson as far as needles go because whenever, I was breaking thread, and it turned out that I just needed to use a new needle.
Oh, really?
Because this one was slightly bent and that happens over time. They also get dull.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So do you have a newer machine or an older machine?
It's close to 20 years old, so it's not like super old or super new.
Right.
Just kind of middle of the road. It was a cheapie. It's a Singer Prelude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, you had taken it in and he said it was in fine shape, right? Wasn't that you that had shared that story with me? Oh, someone recently told me they had thought their sewing machine was dying and they took it in and the mechanic?
Yeah, the sewing machine mechanic.
Said, "Oh no, it just needs little sprucing up and tune up." So if you take care of them,
and I always keep mine covered when I'm not using it, and I think that makes a big difference too.
Not a lot of dust building up inside and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I learned how to. Forever ago, I took was it Sewing 911 class on Craftsy, and it teaches you how to clean everything and oil it and that whole thing. So that was really good.
Keeping your machine at top. So with this bodices course, is it specifically for dresses or is it just how to fit a bodice and you can apply that to other things like shirts or
you can apply it to other things? It's the specific project is the Hinterland Dress for this. So that's what they use as the model, but it's easily transferable to other things. So it just kind of gives you the confidence to expand your skills.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to sew again. I used to sew my clothes, suits and stuff.
Wow.
That's
way ahead of me.
That I wore to work and stuff.
Cool. I've never done garments.
Yeah. But my grandmother taught me how to sew. Nice. So she was a really good seamstress. And so back then she was really strict. Like you had to
get it right.
You get it right, and you're taking it out. That's the story of my life. Rip back, and seam ripper. My seam ripper was my best friend.
Ooh, yes, my
Yes.
seam ripper saw some action with this.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Although
it-
fabric is not quite as forgiving as knitting.
No, not
No.
at all. And that expression, measure twice, cut once,
Yeah.
really applies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but I used to enjoy that too. I think it's the kind of the puzzle of the whole thing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seeing how everything
I,
fits.
I do not. I tried garments once, I think, with my sister to make a dress, and I got halfway through, and I was like, "Just you finish it."
Oh, really?
That
You
was
didn't like
not my
it? Too
thing.
boring?
Yeah, and now I think I'm just, gun shy or whatever,
Oh,
right? Where I
okay.
probably, if I did it now, I'd be like, "Oh, this is okay." But it is, the idea of the fact that once you've cut the material,
Yeah.
you've cut the material.
And
Yeah.
I think I found
Yeah.
the secret for that. Like I said, Joanne gifted me a whole bag full of fiber.
Yeah.
Or fiber.
Fabric?
Fabric. Getting my crafts all mishmashed here. So some of it is really special. Other stuff is not as special and meaningful to me. So I chose those to experiment with.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was like, worst case scenario, I mess it up.
Yeah.
Well, even professionals will sew like a
Muslin.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
Like kind of your first run to make sure all your pieces are cut right.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, right? Because again, a pattern is generic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No body is generic.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was a girl I was watching on YouTube for a while, and she would do all of hers first on like a muslin,
Mhm.
and just to make sure, and then she'd go and cut. But so again, I'm obviously just not attracted to it enough yet, because I'm like, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But so does knitting,
Cool.
and I love it. So
Yeah,
who
cool.
knows? Yeah.
So it's a slippery slope because I've already got my next project
Oh,
in mind.
What's your next one going to
It's
be?
going to be the songbird skirt. So it's just
Oh,
a
yes.
skirt and it's kind of tiered. But if you go on her site, she also has the option for doing patchwork.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've got all these like
Oh,
bits
you're
and
getting in
bobs.
touch with your boho past.
So yeah, good fun. Yeah,
Fun.
good fun.
Fun. Okay.
Be
cool.
ready to finish your Bilbo Baggins vest.
That's
Is
that's the workup.
plan.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
workup. So if
Okay.
I can get this complete, that's the next step towards getting my Bilbo vest, because the Bilbo vest is a patchwork vest.
Yeah.
I've got
English
the squares.
paper piecing, right?
Nope.
Oh, it's not English
it's-
paper piece.
No, it's little squares. I've got them all cut. I'm just putting it off because I don't know what colors I want to put
Right.
where.
Right.
But it's also quilted. So
Yes.
Right.
there's that factor too.
Yeah.
And
Fun.
you have to do the bias and all that fun stuff. So I figure little steps.
Oh.
Little steps.
It's too bad we have to work.
I know. Sorry, that sounded
There's,
really like
there's so many things that we would want to be doing.
So many things.
Yeah.
It's not so actually. I love working. That is the truth.
That's the
I
right
love
thing to say,
working.
Betsy.
No, okay. I love just having that routine and doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What I sometimes do moan is like, well, why couldn't someone pay me to do all these different things?
Because
Right.
then it wouldn't
Like,
be fun.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
then
what
that's
happens
then it's
is-
work.
Or
Yeah.
you'd be a paid seamstress, right? So
Yeah.
you'd be
Yeah.
expected to do that all the. No, I want to be paid to like
Be
do
creative.
all
what
the
I want.
different things.
To do what I want.
Yeah.
Whatever I want.
To sew one day and knit the next and crochet the
Yeah,
next. and,
right, right.
Oh wait, it's what we do, people.
Yeah, I know. We have nothing to complain about, really.
No, not at all.
But it's just when you like doing things with your hands, and then you hear of another good project, you're just
"Ooh,
like,
I need to do
ooh,
that."
I
Try
want
that.
to do that. That's how you fall. And then when you're a person like me that you can't just dabble in something. You've got to go all the way down and get all the stuff and the whatever I have, as I know, because I
Oh.
lugged it all up to my attic when we started the renovation. So-
And that's something that I noticed about sewing too, that doesn't necessarily apply, in my opinion, to other crafts. So with spinning, you don't need to know all the technical terms. You can just start spinning.
right.
With sewing, no. Those terms mean something, and there's a reason for them.
Okay,
So,
like give me an example.
bias.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, there's a reason why you need to cut your fabric on a bias.
Right.
Yeah. So, and a very specific reason.
yeah.
And if you don't do it, you're going to run into some
You'll
issues
regret it
because
later.
I
Yeah.
did that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Speaking from experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Okay, good.
yeah, it's one of those things where, you do have to learn the terms and learn what they mean and how they apply to things.
It's got a
So-
bit more sciencey
Yeah.
than maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like baking versus cooking, and knitting is more
Yeah.
like cooking,
Or it's just,
crochet is like cooking, and
it's probably the difference between hand or home sewn and tailored.
right,
Right.
right.
You're gonna get
okay.
like, it's just those finishings and the bits at the end that, sure, you can make a garment that will fit your body and cover you.
yeah,
But if you take the time to learn all the technicalities, you will have something that you
yes.
really like and
Yeah.
has all
Yeah.
those little
That's right.
Little details.
Yeah.
And
fully
we love
fully
details.
tailored or fully
Yeah.
fitted or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, did you always have a sewing machine and then have just picked and intended to sew, or did you just, or you?
There's a funny story that goes with that.
Oh,
No,
good. I didn't
settle
even
in.
know.
Um,
So I can sniff it out.
Kirby gifted me a sewing machine for my birthday forever ago, and I looked at it and I'm like, what do I want with this?
Are you-
Like,
are you a
I love
tourist?
you, but
Are you a tourist here?
what was the point of this? And he used it way more than I did.
Oh.
And I mean, I was so lazy about sewing that if I needed to sew buttons on, I didn't. I just handed it to him.
Oh, okay.
So
Funny.
for whatever reason, he gifted me with this sewing machine, and I guess he knew my mind better than I know myself.
Yeah.
Because down the road, look what I'm doing. I'm using
Yeah.
my sewing machine.
Okay, so this is really, you've had it for a while, and this now you're just starting to use it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So
interesting.
almost 20
Cool.
years I've had this sewing machine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Go, Kirby, go.
Yeah, that's
Way
right.
to anticipate.
The pollen is coming for me.
Oh no.
I think I'm gonna be okay.
You're all
But
right.
it's coming.
Oh,
It's
okay.
attacking me.
Yeah, we might have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
We've been talking for a while now. All right, so much for when I was writing the agenda. I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a short episode today. So we'll just, yes, the director is probably,
He's even like, come on, get
I
on.
think
with
he
it.
must want to eat his lunch.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
it's lunchtime.
Okay. So the next segment is just a little chat about the PEI Fibre Festival. So the PEI Fibre Festival starts officially from October 23rd to the 25th of 2025, and it is being held at the Delta in downtown Charlottetown. However, on October 22nd, there's two tours going on. One is a farm tour to the Stoltz's sheep farm, where they're going to do a demonstration for like doing shearing, and Rachel Stoltz has a floral farm as well. And then the other tour that's happening that same day is a trip out to Green Gable alpacas. So Janet Ogilvy will there to give you the experience that she gives as part of her experience during the tourist season, but she's a little bit far away from Charlottetown. So she's organized an excursion, and that's also on the 22nd. And there's a class on hand dyeing while you're there. So that is sold out. So we don't really keep a waiting list, but if for some, like, it's sold out. So
That's just the long and
it's
short
just-
of it.
yeah, so those two things happen on the 22nd. But I think there's still a couple spaces for the Stoltz's farm, but that is actually, like, you should be prepared to go and walk in a farmyard, and it's no she kind of whatever. It's like, really, if you're interested in what really happens on a sheep farm, then that's that one. But I think it's also close to sold out, but I'm not sure. However, what I really wanted to talk about is Laura Lee Beltman, because she's another instructor that's coming. So Laura Lee is from Seattle. Well, she lives in Seattle, and she's I first heard of her because I was taking Craftsy classes on knitting. So she's been an instructor in Craftsy. She was in Knit Star in 2018. So that's kind of like it's a thing now, an online, like the best
The
knitting
knitting
teachers
competition,
and
yeah.
knitting competition. Yeah. So she was in that. And she also has contributed to Knitting Magazine. She contributes to Modern Daily Knitting. And so she's very well known in the knitting community. And she's giving 4 classes during the Fibre Festival. 2 of them are beginner. I would almost say not quite dead beginner, but beginner classes. And 2 of them are a little bit more intermediate. So she is giving a class on continental knitting. So if you have some knowledge of knitting, but you want to learn how to do it in the continental style, there's a class for that. And I think it's called Pick Up Your Knits and Pearls, or Picking Your Knits and Pearls. But if you go on the website and just click on her name under the instructors, all 4 classes come up. And the other class that's sort of a semi-beginner class is the Kitchener. It's a grafting. I don't want to call it Kitchener stitch, because she's going to teach you about the Kitchener stitch, but it's really about a class on drafting. It's 3 hours long, so it's drafting in different directions. Drafting.
I was like, drafting.
Yeah, no. Grafting. Yes, thank you. Takes a village.
Yeah. Especially today, right?
Yes. Grafting. So there's a class for that. And then there's 2 classes which are intermediate classes, and one of them is called Colors That Climb, I think, or something like that. And it's doing color work vertically. So color traveling, it looks kind of like 2 color cables, sort of, but on the little description. And the other one is cell boot coasters. So in the introduction of this class, if you ever wanted to, you hear us talking about the cell boot designs all the time, and the Anne Bardsgard book. So there's cell boot patterns and cell boot mittens. So we carry this book. So her class is based on these 2 stitch dictionaries, basically, is what they were. But it was really interesting, because when the little profile that she sent to the Fibre Festival to be put up about her class is that knitting techniques and things have been around for so long that it's hard to, they kind of sprouted out organically, so it's hard to kind of figure out who was the very first person that did Fair Isle, or who was the very first person that did whatever. But she said that the Salbu tradition can be traced back to one single person from 1857 that made the first 2 pairs of Salbu mittens and gave them as gifts, so which you learn about in these books. But anyway, so she's experimenting with a couple different motifs. She's made a couple changes to things that's not like right out of the book, but I think you're doing more than one motif, and you're making little coasters just to get an idea of how to work that color work. So that might be something that you might be interested in. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're to the harmony part, which I thought I knew what it was, but now I don't know what it is. So you'll discover that in a couple minutes. So I hope everybody has a great 2 weeks until we see each other again. If you've made it this far through this meandering tale of sewing and knitting and crochet and whatever, then thank you for watching us, and thanks for your support, and hope you have a wonderful and peaceful 2 weeks, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.
Hungry for the road all my life, thirsty for adventure all my youth, chasing all my freedoms down Liberty Avenue. And every time I hear a phrase my mother used to say to me, everything happens for a reason, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, 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 just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Nothing like kitchen conversation, steam coming up off the stove, photographs down the staircase showing our stories unfold. And every time I hear a song my father used to sing to me, sweet words of an Irish lullaby, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, home, home. a ticket, I pick up the phone.